Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming an old friend of mine from the Bay Area. Her name is Katie LaRosa. I've known her for over 10 years. She is a really fun, awesome person, and she's going to come on the show today. We're going to reminisce about old times and all the stuff that we saw in the San Mateo bar scene. I just love doing these personal episodes of Splat from the Past because I get to talk about old times with friends, and you can hear about what my life was long before the podcast and showbiz and what have you. And yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome that I get to have friends come on and do that. And it's good to know I still have some friends out there. So, here is my interview with Katie LaRosa.
Hello.
What's up, Katie?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Nice. What's new?
Not much. Just working. Celebrated 9 years with Samantha.
Oh.
Work.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. How have you been? How's Reading?
It's a clusterfuck of heat, I'll tell you.
Oh, God, yeah. It's no joke up there.
Yeah, I regret it every day, but so much good stuff has happened to me while I've been up here. Bad stuff too, but also good stuff.
That's good. It's a huge change from down here, but sometimes that's, it's just what's needed.
Yeah.
I pass through Reading all the time. My dad lives up more like 45 minutes north from Reading, so we pass through.
Oh, where at?
Craziness. He lives up in Castella.
Oh, okay.
It's like 20 minutes south of Mount Shasta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like way up there.
Nice.
Way up north, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
wow.
Glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
Glad you got out of this shit.
It could be a lot better, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. The last few months, though, have been very, very challenging, I'll tell you. I was supposed to move to LA back in July.
Yeah.
And it fell through. This girl that I met on Facebook, who was like a fan of my podcast and stuff, she promised me over a year ago that I could stay with her, and then she got in trouble with the law.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's no good.
No. I'm
sorry.
Oh, thanks. I was looking forward to it so badly because last year was a pretty fucked up year, and this year has seemed worse, though, but still, I mean, at least nothing has changed, to the point where, I'm on the street again like I was over there.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad things aren't that bad.
Yeah. But, oh my God, I've known you for at least 10 years now.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
Katie Purdy and I were talking about that a couple of months ago. We all got together and did dinner because we were supposed to be doing fundraising and stuff for breast cancer and all that, and that obviously didn't happen because we haven't gone back to that. But it was like, we've known each other for about 10 years now, guys. And I was just like, holy shit, like that's just crazy to me that
God,
the whole crew's been around, and like to see all the changes we've all gone through in those 10 years is just mind-boggling to me.
Oh my God, Katie Purdy, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Her and I hate each other.
Oh God, life is too short for that.
Yeah. But, oh my God, yeah. It was a crazy time. I met you like right at the end of my swinging door days as a bouncer there. And
yeah.
So much fucking craziness was happening in 2009. I can't believe I survived it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we all did. Looking back to those craziness back then, it was just, oh gosh.
Yeah, it was a fun time to be in my 20s. It was just before the Bay Area got really, really expensive and just overpopulated.
Yep. Oh, the good old days. Kind of.
Oh my God! Well, that year was it like 2010? We saw each other at Gay Pride.
Yeah, that was my first Pride parade.
Yeah, I've been looking for that picture of us that we took, and I can't find it.
Oh my gosh, I'll look on my Google. I might have it on my Google. I have to do some researching, but I might still have it somewhere.
Oh yeah.
With all my photo dumps and stuff, it might be on my computer.
Yeah, I missed that.
I feel like I have specific pictures from that Pride on my Facebook. Even they might even be on my Facebook.
Yeah, I missed that picture.
Look.
Yeah.
I'll look later. I'll message it to you later if I find it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I missed that picture because that was also my first Pride parade too, and
yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you about when I went there in 2012. Oh my God. Okay, I did something I shouldn't have done, but I did it for the pussy, let's say. Me and this girl that I went to high school with, and this friend of hers who I tried to get with on my birthday in 2012. We met up and we went to Santa Cruz, and we were going to go see the 80s band Berlin there, but there was no free parking left, and so we decided not to go. So we went back to the hotel that they were staying at because they were going under hard times, and they were doing crystal meth, and I did it with them.
Oh Jesus!
The only time in my life I've ever done this, and
crazy.
It was a fun weekend. I'll tell you, from Friday to Sunday morning, and we were just doing that constantly and stuff and having wild sex. It was a lot of fun. But then Sunday morning, I take a train because I have to go to work and I don't want to get fired. I was working at Michael's Arts and Crafts at that time, and I go to work from like 10 to I want to say 3 o'clock, and then I'm coming down from the whole high from the weekend, but I still have energy. So then I go to the Pride Parade, and I don't get there till like 5:30, and it's like wrapping up, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's like ending. And I was like, oh shit, it was a waste of money to come down here. So I go get on BART, and then I stop at Nation Burger in Daly City because I just needed to eat because I hadn't eaten for 3 days, you know. And I'm sitting next to this girl on the bus, and I fell asleep on her shoulder, and oh God, she was pissed. I remember.
Oh my gosh.
So I get home. I went to bed at 9 o'clock that night and didn't wake up till 1 p.m. the next day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's the last time I ever did that shit.
Yeah, no, none of that here for this body. No.
No. That it wasn't worth the stomach ache I got the next day. That was really, really bad.
Yeah, that stuff is no joke. That shit is too intense for my little body.
Yeah, we took a selfie and put it on Facebook, and my parents noticed that, you know, I didn't look, you know, drunk or anything. I looked beyond that and stuff, and I was just like, no, I was drunk. We didn't do any drinking that weekend.
Oh gosh, thank God.
Yeah, it was super scary.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Oh my God, so there's all these places in the Bay Area that are closing that I just can't believe.
Yeah, a lot of places no one can afford the rent anymore.
I know.
Happening. It costs too much to own a business or anything.
I know. Oh my God, they closed down Trags.
Yep.
God.
Yep. I work right up the street from there, and I can't, when we have to run to get something at the store, Trax is gone now, so we can't go.
Yeah.
Point. And it's still just sitting there. They haven't turned it into anything yet. I don't know if they're gonna.
God, I remember when Sean used to work there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Feels so long ago. It's just crazy.
Yeah, who are you talking to now these days?
It's just not really anybody. I barely talk to Lily and Katie through Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I mean, I talk to some people through Facebook, but I really don't ever see that crew or those people anymore because they're just all still in the whole bar scene and doing their own thing and stuff, and I don't have time for that shit in my life. Like, Sammy and I work too hard. We have to pay and stuff, so that's really my focus. I mean, there's an occasional dinner, but even then, Lily always gets to go to her seminars and stuff like that, but that's just not really my scene. It's not really something that I am that into. Like, if I really want to change myself inside and out, like, I don't feel like I need to go to a seminar to do that. But, I mean, some people do that, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
More power to you. Everybody has their thing. That's just not really my thing. But it's like, every time I talk to her, it's like, oh, you always talk about you want to change this and you want to change that. And then it kind of turns into a sales pitch. And I'm just like, I don't know, it's okay. Like, no thanks. Like, thanks, no thanks. Okay. Like, more power to you. That works for you, that you found something that you like. More power to you. Some people do that. Some people go to church. Other people journal and listen to music and work out and things like that. Everyone's different. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I distanced myself from all that shit, and they've all been very unsupportive of me and my podcast and just everything I'm trying to do and stuff because they're fucking jealous,
Oh, yeah, it's like everyone's so stuck that it's like seeing someone else actually attempt to get out.
Yeah.
Do what they want and get what they want. It's like almost intimidating to them.
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't know, when I first started dating Sam, there was just so much drama there with that group, like with Kirsten and people like that. And it's just like, my business was becoming other people's business. And it's like, I'm too old for this shit. Like, I did high school already. It sucked, and I don't want to ever do it again. Like,
right.
I'm not, like, peace out. Like, there was a good, like, solid few years where I didn't speak to anybody. I didn't ever really even want to go to downtown San Mateo.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I feel like I wouldn't. And it was finally like, you can't always hide from these people. Like, if you see them, you see them. Like, don't go out of your way to see them. But, I kind of had to almost kind of get over that myself. Because for the longest time, it was, oh, what happened to Brian? And where's Brian? How's Brian? Like, Brian and I aren't together anymore. Obviously, I'm dating a girl now. And that was such a big deal for him. And even that was also something that was like, this has nothing to do with you. You cheated on me, we broke up, I gave you another chance, and then I broke up with you again because I found something better. Like, it really had nothing to do with him, but he always wanted to make it be about him. And that's when I was even more so like, bye.
Yeah.
I don't want to have anything to do with people. Bye.
Yeah, I remember when I first met you, I thought to myself, oh, what's a cool-ass girl like her hanging around people like this and a douchebag like Brian.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look back on it and I'm just kind of like, like I did meet good people through him, but I mean, I also feel like I originally met so many people through Lily.
Yeah.
Lily is how I met those people, well, through Kirsten really, but I mean, if Kirsten and I are able to get past the drama that we had gone through, and like we're cool now, we're not all BFF, but she moved away, she's in Nevada now. She's not that far from Vegas, like in Henderson, Nevada, or something like that, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Henderson or Paradise, but she has a girlfriend, she's moved out, she moved away, like, more power to you.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sure Lily goes through this shit too, because she's one of the few, real ones of that whole group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
She called me about a year and a half ago. We talked about, she was doing this this program about being motivated and
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, moving on from things and stuff like that. And she asked me if I wanted to go to this retreat or something, and I couldn't do it because, I'm all these hours away, and my mom was still working at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Did your mom finally retire?
Yeah, so...
oh, yay! Congratulations, sir.
Well,
That's exciting.
it's no bed of roses, let me tell you. So,
okay.
Back in April, we went to LA for a week, and we had a fun time, right?
Mm-hmm.
She gets back, and about 4 weeks later, she takes a fall and fractures both of her arms at work.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they waited like 3 weeks before they operated, and this pre-existing condition she already had got worse by then. She's got this I don't know what it's called. It's like it's gonna make her body deteriorate. Like my mom's gonna be in a wheelchair in the next 5 years.
Oh Jesus.
It's that bad.
Sorry.
Yeah. And so she's been just loaded up on medication, and if she doesn't have medication, she drinks. I mean, she's just in pain. She just can't deal with it. It's bad,
Yeah, scary.
But she doesn't, bow out of her responsibilities. I mean, she does her responsibilities and everything, but it's just scary, and I worry about her.
Absolutely, yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But she's doing okay overall, and we look out for each other.
That's good. That's all that matters. You guys have each other, so that's awesome.
Yeah. But it just I don't know. It just things happen like it was supposed to. I guess with that happening, and then not going to LA. I guess it was supposed to happen that way.
Yeah, absolutely. A good way to look at it. You're able to help her out. She's able to be with you. And good.
Yeah, my brother moved in back in February, and his drinking is just getting worse and worse and stuff. He took his ex-wife took away custody of the kids, and none of us can see them, and they're just really down and out about it. I am, but I'm not surprised because I've always known what a vindictive person his ex-wife is.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm just hanging in there, doing my thing, going to conventions and meeting people and doing the podcast. I'm going back to LA, not this week, but in 2 weeks from now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for another convention.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that and stuff. But oh my God, yeah, with the places that I've heard that have closed in the Bay Area. I heard the KFC in downtown is gone.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that out loud, I think it is gone. They're building a new building down there. There's all kinds of construction. There's street closures right now because of the scaffolds and things like that, down on Claremont Fourth and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. They're redoing the Hillsdale train station too.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
That street is all shut down, and Hillsdale Mall is still being worked on to an extent. They're not fully finished with the new mall either. And the new mall is just all free food, and it's almost like they're trying to make it like Stanford.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's very interesting. I don't even go to the food court at Hillsdale anymore because it's not even technically a food court anymore.
Oh God.
I mean, there's yummy cheesecake there that we got introduced to when we went to Hawaii. It's this yummy Japanese cheesecake. That's probably the only bonus of this new mall so far. It's not that great.
But they had the Cheesecake Factory there.
It's two totally different types of things.
Oh God.
It's like a fluffy, it's Japanese style, so totally different than American style cheesecake. It's so interesting.
Huh. That is interesting.
Very interesting. There's still Macy's and Nordstrom. They have, across the street from the mall is still, they took out the macaroni grill.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that's an Xfinity store or something.
Yeah.
They actually probably demolished. I see it so often sometimes that it just looks the same to me. It's interesting. The freaking rent prices are ridiculous. Sam's family lives in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Their neighbors just moved out. They were renting a 3-bedroom, 1 house. They were paying $38.50 for it, and the landlord raised the rent to $4,300.
Oh, God.
They had to move out because they were like, we can't afford that for what this place is. We just can't. We literally can't afford it. I'm like, that's sad. That's just really sad. But this particular landlord is a greedy ass motherfucker, so it kind of doesn't surprise me. But it's still sad that it's that expensive, and eventually someone will be able to afford it, and someone will eventually move into that house. So time will tell.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
All these. There's like so many new food places downtown, and like ramen is kind of taking over. So there's like new ramen spots, but like it's that in between because the people in San Mateo aren't really like privy to it in a sense. They're kind of like, what the fuck is this? But
Yeah.
then eventually I feel like it'll blow up. Interesting. It's the struggle, like for real. Like I don't want to live here anymore, but it's like, where else are we going to be able to really live where the cost of living is better?
Yeah.
It's not, like, mostly the same. Like, my dad's like, oh, come move up here. You can move here rent-free. It's like, yeah, I could live in Castella, then I would have to drive 45 minutes down the hill, as we refer to it, down to Reading, to a city where I'll be able to be a teacher in a classroom, or I'd be able to waitress and serve in a coffee shop or a restaurant busy enough to make money. Like, I can't just move up and just not work, because then my bills aren't getting paid. Like, I can't save that way. So I'm like, I'd have to seriously think of and consider moving to a place where I could still actually work. Because he's retired. He literally just cuts wood all day and breathes and smokes his weed and hangs out. It's like, you're 74, you can do that.
Yeah. Oh my.
I'm not even 35 yet, so I still have a lot of, like, saving and figuring shit out to do, I feel like. Different.
Yeah, I'm 36. Just turned 36 this summer. But oh my God, yeah, I heard the melting pot closed down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is there anything there now?
No, actually. So I work down at the Peninsula Italian Social Club.
Mm-hmm.
The hall that's down there by track.
Yeah.
A lot of our customers park at the train station and walk because the parking downtown sucks. But I mean, when they have a 300+ person event, there's only so much parking in San Mateo.
Mm-hmm.
There was talk, they were talking about building another parking garage, but I was like, where? Like, how is that possible? Like, you already have Caltrain, there's already a 2-story, and you have the parking garage that's pretty big as it is. Like, where else are you going to put a freaking parking garage downtown? Like, that doesn't make sense. But I don't know if there's even talk of them putting something where Melting Pot was. It would be smart of them to, because it's the train station. I was just reading in the newspaper a few weeks ago, I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but they're proposing to close this, because I live right off of Broadway and Burlingame, right by the train station.
Mm-hmm.
But they only stop here on the weekends. It's not a weekday stop. But they want to turn it into an overpass. So, like, now down by Swinging Doors on 25th, there's an overpass for the train now.
Oh, my God.
Which they're still completing. I think the train still is on the regular ground still, so they might still be working on it to an extent. But they are trying to lift the train to alleviate, I think, the traffic and stuff. Because, like, like here at Broadway and California Drive sucks. It can sometimes be a 6-minute wait if you catch it at the wrong time of day.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, are they going to reopen this train station? There's this little restaurant here. It's called Maverick Jack.
Mm-hmm.
A burger joint or something. We've only eaten there once when we first moved over here. But even that place, like, I was driving by the other day, I was like, oh, they have a beer garden here. Like, I never knew that. Like, I never noticed. Like, I technically could walk here on a Friday. Like, wow, I never realized. And then they have, I'm going to have to look into that and see if they're actually opening it or whatever. But the down where Bay Meadows was,
right,
that's all still being worked on too. So they have, I don't know if they have like an ice cream place, a coffee place, and they have this Fieldworks brewing company, like outdoor beer kind of place. There's a couple of parks in that neighborhood. Like, it's still so freaking expensive, though. Like, even for a studio apartment in that area, because they're newly built and all this, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, that's why our generation is moving away and stuff, because we've lived here all of our lives. We worked our ass off for these wages, and now they're just driving the rents and shit up. They're driving them out.
Yeah, I fucking never thought it was ever going to turn out like this. You know that?
Right?
I
agree.
I took it all for granted, you know. I always thought that it was going to remain the same. And I started seeing signs of it changing, you know, around 2009 or 10. And then by the time I got out of the hospital, that's when I woke up from reality and started seeing everything just fucking change.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just fucking...
I 100% agree.
It just came out of nowhere. It was fucking insane. My favorite sushi place was Toki's in Foster City. It's now on 3rd Avenue, I heard. Yeah. There's like 10 sushi places in downtown San Mateo. I can't believe they put it over there.
I know. We live right by the sushi place here in the corner on Broadway and Laguna. Sam will go there because Sam eats sushi, but it's okay. We're right by a shop house. We're by Village Host Pizza.
Love Village Host.
I think there's actually a newer pizza place up the street too, but this area hasn't changed too much. Burlingame Avenue is pretty different now. They built a new roundabout on California Drive to kind of make it more pedestrian friendly, I think, to allow people to walk better without dying on California Drive. But they have like a new ice cream place on the avenue, Salt and Straw. I love Salt and Straw. That's in Portland, Oregon. It's so good. But there's just a bunch of little, like there's boba now, and there's just like Limon, the Peruvian restaurant. It's like, where's all this money coming from? Like, I'm surprised that some of these businesses are still thriving.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess there is always that clientele, but the clientele is going to change eventually because it's just expensive. Like, these kids that are graduating high school and stuff now, their work ethic is so different than when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like, when we were first graduating high school and stuff, like, our parents instilled, I think, a different work ethic. We saw a different generation of parents work.
Yeah.
And that's where we learned. And that's why we are the way we are when we follow through with things and when we do things. Like, I realized we had this team meeting last night at work, and I'm like, wow, I really am one of the oldest employees here out of all of these kids. Like, I call them kids because one of them is still, he's only 16, and one of the oldest kids is like maybe 20. But even then, I'm like, you're so young. Like, you don't even know. Like, you don't understand, like, how easy you guys have it. Like, they're not hard workers. And I'm like, part of it, I think, is because my boss coddles them, and my boss lets them get away with so much. I'm like, when you eventually leave this job and go to another job, like, you're going to have such a rude awakening. Like, you can't, if you worked at Starbucks, you would have already been fired for meal break violation. Like, tie your fucking hair back. You're serving food to people. Your hair is long. Tie your hair back. These are common sense mistakes. Like, don't be on your cell phone in front of the customers. Put your cell phone away. To the point now that my boss bought what he's calling cell phone jail.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good luck with that. I want to see the cell phone jail actually be used, because there's like 3 people I can think of off the top of my head that need their cell phone put in cell phone jail. It's like such a different generation. And that's the thing, too. When I first graduated high school, I didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
I didn't have a cell phone until I got my first job, and I got it myself. My dad never wanted me to use, like, their pay phones. You don't need a cell phone. And that's, like, these kids now, like, oh, I've had an iPhone since I was in 6th grade. I was like, in 6th grade, that was not on my radar. That wasn't something that I wanted or desired, because it just wasn't bought something, we didn't have that availability of be like, oh yeah, let's get the kids all cell phones. Like, no. Ubering everywhere. Take the bus? Heaven forbid you take the bus. Like, gosh. That's all we did when I was your age was walk, take a bus, take a train if need be. Like, my parents never picked me up, dropped me off. If we needed to take a cab, we would, but there was no Uber back in our day.
Yeah.
We were Uber.
I live in an apartment complex full of 18 to 22-year-olds who go to this quote-unquote college. I call it a quote-unquote college. All it is a religious cult, basically.
Oh,
it's a Christian church school cult, basically. And all these kids, they come from all the way from Europe, or they come from, just about anywhere to go to school. And a lot of them end up being here for only a semester or 1 year, and they get the hell out once they realize, what it is. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of creepy. I bet you they drink the juice there.
I'm sure they do.
Town juice shit. Yeah, that's how they get them.
Yeah, and like I go to the
that's crazy.
I go to the swimming pool and hot tub all the time, and I see them and I listen to their conversations. Oh my God, they remind me of me at that age, just being undecisive and being full of angst about the future and stuff. And oh my God, none of these kids like watch movies or know anything about entertainment. It's just frightening.
We were in Vegas last weekend for a bachelorette weekend, and it was lame, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to this casino, or the hotel was called the Cosmo.
Mm-hmm.
Went into this little bar lounge kind of thing to sit and have a drink. And I looked over at the because they had TV screens, which I was kind of surprised there wasn't sports on it, because in Vegas that's what I'm used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were showing movie clips. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, oh, wow, they got The Godfather on. So I immediately turned my attention towards the TV because it got my attention. I love The Godfather. That's one of my favorite movies.
Right.
And I noticed they changed the clip. And so then it was the original Batman movie. And then they showed The Shining. Tracy, Roger Rabbit was shown. I was like, oh, and my one friend goes, oh, what movie is that? Oh, what movie is that? And I'm like, wait, what year were you born? Like, wait, what? Like, you've never seen The Shining? And she's like, no, I don't think so. I remember some movie that I was like, oh my God, what movie was it? Maybe it was The Godfather that I was like, I can't believe you've never seen this before. Like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, I can't watch things that's more than like 20 minutes because I fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God, really? Like, I grew up watching these movies. Like, I love movies. Like, I could name off every single movie they showed. They even showed Pulp Fiction at one point.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, is that John Travolta? I was like, oh my God. Like, yes, that's fucking Tarantino. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She was like, I feel like I'm upsetting you. I was like, you're not upsetting me. I feel bad for you that, like, I could sit here and make all these amazing movie references and you would have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like you haven't lived. Like, my brother and I can sometimes talk in quotes, and it's like, no one will get what we're talking about, but we absolutely understand what we're saying to each other. It's hilarious. Like, with friends. Oh, but like, Friends is my thing. I love Friends.
Oh, yeah. I remember being 21 years old and meeting like 15-year-olds and thinking that they were disrespectful. No, the kids I see now are more disrespectful than they are.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my gosh. When I was working at the last preschool I was at down in Palo Alto, I was, like, right on the Palo Alto Mountain View border down by San Antonio Road, and the parents there are a lot of Google parents, and there's these people, like, they want you, like, one parent was getting a tour, and she was like, well, what do you mean you're not going to be one-on-one with my child? And the director is like, well, the state of California ratios, like, one teacher to 6 kids, depending. There's even sometimes one teacher to 12. It's like, well, what do you mean my kid's not going to get a 1-to-1 ratio? And my director was like, there's no preschool can really do kids learn through play. Kids learn through social encounters. Having one-on-one with an adult isn't always the best, like, learning tool. And then you see the older siblings of some of these babies, and you're like, oh, no wonder. Because they're, mommy this, mommy that, mommy, I want the phone. Like, our nephew who's 8, he always wants to be on the phone and be playing games. And I'm like, we're all hanging out having conversation. You can come have conversations with your aunties and uncles. Like, I'm not playing on the cell phone. Like, no thanks. Well, let's hold a conversation. Let's go shoot some basketball hoops. Let's go do something other than you playing on the phone. Like, that's all they want to do is be on the phone playing. I don't even understand what game or what's so intriguing about, like, YouTube and shit. Like, for one part of his life, he literally would watch YouTube videos of other kids opening toys, like, playing with them. Like, what is so gratifying about that? And my cousin would be like, that's what he likes to watch. This is what he likes. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah.
Like, what's his favorite book? When I was 8, I could tell you what my favorite book was, what it was about, who the author was, who the illustrator was. Like, nowadays, kids have no idea.
Nope.
It's just sad. And like, some parents are like, well, I'm just so busy, and I'm just so, it's like, so stop and be present. That's what we always would try to teach parents. It's like, be aware, be present in their lives, because trust me, they grow pretty damn fast.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they know everything.
Yeah, they're especially...
Don't rush to grow up.
Yeah, they're especially going to know everything when they end up in jail.
Right? It's a trap, don't do it.
Yeah, it's just insane. I don't know what's going to happen, but, all we can do is, when the world is fucked up, we can create our own world and our own aura around us.
Seriously. Find an island somewhere and move. Create our own new little area.
Do you think that South City and San Bruno are going to be next in terms of changing?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, they are kind of trying to develop San Bruno to an extent. I wonder if they're going to do anything with San Fran, because San Fran is still, like, in limbo almost. Like,
yeah.
Like, I was surprised. There's a lingerie store, Fredericks of Hollywood. Like, I realized I needed a costume for something, and I was like, oh my god, there's no Fredericks anymore. Like, that store is totally shut down. There's only Victoria's Secret. And I fucking hate that store. So, I mean, they're still online. I was going to Google them and find them online. But I was like, I wonder what is it, the lack of sales of lingerie? Is it the rent prices of San Fran Mall? Like, what? I'm surprised that a store like that closed, and then some cheapy jewelry store goes in. Like Ceremony Mall, they totally redid Ceremony. Ceremony is crazy amazing. There's like a new Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx. They have new restaurants up there. Like, they're kind of making an effort. I was kind of hoping Hillsdale was going to do what Ceremony kind of did, but I mean, Ceremony is in Daly City, so their clientele, that parking lot is always packed, but they have the food, they have the shops, stuff like that. They make it so to bring people in. Whereas San Fran, like, there's one store at San Fran that I'm like, oh, we need to go when I like to buy my noodles. It's a little Japanese store that we go to. But that's really the only thing that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, San Mateo Avenue kind of has some restaurants, but they're building a new, I think they tore down a bank that was there, and they built an apartment building or something. So they are trying to get more housing, at least. So it's like what the number one thing that seems to be going up is housing. But it's like, no one can afford the housing that they're building. Like, unless you're dirt ass poor and you qualify, you are just stuck.
Yeah.
Like, East Palo Alto stuff. Like, we're already kind of like, well, it's August now, so we're kind of almost September. Like, we're kind of going to be at that range of, like, do we want to look for a new apartment, or do we want to just stay where we are? Because where we are is actually on the cheaper scale of one-bedroom apartment. I'm a afraid, like, if we do look and we do try to move, we're going to have to move, like, probably past Belmont, because even Belmont is now hella expensive.
Yeah, and I heard East Palo Alto was like the cheapest place, but it's so shitty over there. You know, it's
still very crappy, but it is one of the cheaper places. But it's like, it still has the rap that it always has. Some people say it's gotten better, but considering we grew up and we've seen the craziness of EPA, I can't really say it has gotten much better. I mean, it's not constant, like, homicides and craziness like that, but it's still, you know, it's EPA.
Yeah, one of my good friends lived in Palo Alto for a couple of years, and he said, I'd never want to leave, but now he lives in Los Gatos.
Oh, damn. Hella far.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, my God. So I've got some toe-curling sex stories.
Oh, geez.
Oh, my God. So about a year ago, right? Back in October, there was this girl. She came to the house, right, to give my mom a bouquet of flowers because I guess my mom had met her or something like that, you know. And she came back on Halloween. She, like, rang the doorbell. I was all alone, you know. And she asked if, like, she could come in, and I let her in, you know, and stuff. And we ended up having sex, and it was really good. And then the next morning, I woke up to her giving me a blowjob, right? And then afterwards, she went to the bathroom, and she was on the toilet, and I decided I was going to text her. And so I texted her, #MeToo, and she fell off the toilet laughing. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I'm like, I should tell that joke on stage. It might get a huge laugh.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This apartment complex, there's some freaky people who live here.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah. There was this husband and wife, and they had the girl's younger sister living here and stuff. They left like last fall, and oh my God, like I was banging the sister for a while. She was like 26, you know, and her sister was like 2 years older than me. She's probably like 38, 39 now or something like that, and stuff. And then she left, and then I was banging her sister for a while, and they're in she's in an open marriage, you know, and stuff. And then they all left and went back to San Diego, where they're from, and stuff. Yeah, there's some pretty freaky people over here. That's one of the few good things I like about Redding.
Yeah, it's an interesting town, to say the least.
Yeah, there's lots of tattooed homeless people and tweakers here. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. The drugs are real around there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God, back in 2012, and I've never told this story on the podcast before. Back in 2012, right, I had a threesome with an old friend of mine that I grew up with and his wife. And they had a son during this, you know, he was conceived during this threesome. Like, I jerked him off inside her, right?
Wow.
And so they made me the godfather, but they called me the claw father because I have very big hands.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, I've told that one on stage, though, and that's gotten a huge laugh.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's this game that I like to play with guests on the show, and how this works is these are silly slumber party questions, and I ask you a question, you answer it, and then you ask me, and then I answer it.
Okay.
Katie, are you ticklish?
I am. Are you ticklish?
I am baby ticklish, yes. I get knee-jerk.
My feet are hella ticklish.
Oh yeah, my feet are very ticklish too. Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
An innie. What about your belly button?
I have a very deep innie. What color are your toenails painted?
They're pink. What color are your toenails painted?
Right now, they're not painted, but I'm going to do it when I go to LA. I'm thinking of something nice and elaborate because last time I went, it was around Easter, and so I had blue-green.
You should do like a yellow or like a lime green or something. That's what I almost did. I almost did like an electric yellow kind of color. But then again, the place I went to, I feel like didn't have the best color selection. Like, I feel like they're more like frou-frou girly colors and not like fun bold colors.
Mm-hmm.
But it's summertime, like, and you're going for coffee. Like, you should do something happy and bright.
Yeah. I want to do something elaborate like that, but lime green, that sounds really, really good. And now my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Is there a stinky smell that makes me gag? Milk. Sour milk.
Sour milk.
I'm just thinking about it right now. I have the yuckiest look on my face right now. Is there a yucky sour smell for you?
When I got out of the hospital for the first 6 months, I had a really bad athlete's foot, and that was the worst ever.
Oh
no! Yeah. Well, I didn't give the nurses in recovery a good reason to like me. I was very grumpy from the medication and everything, and they were assholes. I'll tell you. I loved the nurses in ICU, but when I got to rehab recovery, they were just dicks to me.
Yeah, they're different nurses. Their moods are different, but like an ICU nurse, yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so they didn't go anywhere near me very much, and so they didn't change my socks during that last month I was there. And so I had all this black stuff on the bottoms of my soles and stuff, and we cleaned it and everything, but the smell, it took like 6 months for it to go away.
Oh, God. That sucks.
Yeah. I tell people the story and it makes them gag. You know?
My brothers played sports and played hockey and stuff like that, so it smells like yucky, stinky gloves, beer, and things like that. So, unfortunately, I couldn't imagine the smell of athlete's foot.
Oh my God! So like, I played football and I wrestled and I did track in high school. I never once had athlete's foot ever. I took care of my feet.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, I didn't actually play very much. I was just always lazy and stuff. I mean, I did a lot of wrestling because you had to, because you couldn't just sit there and stuff and just watch the coach demonstrate and everything. You had to participate. I mean, I got so in shape. I started out my sophomore season 320, and I was 266 by the end of the season.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because you are literally using your whole body for all of that craziness, so that makes sense. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty intense and stuff. And God, we ran all the way to Burlingame High School. We did a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of training and stuff. One thing we never got to do that we should have lifted weights in the weight room, but we never did that.
Mm.
And then I did a little bit junior year, and then I ended up quitting because I hurt my back and stuff. And I had this doctor. My doctor was on vacation. This doctor came in that was filling in for him that I'd never seen before. Didn't even know my history. He told me I had an enlarged heart, and it scared me for like a whole month until I waited for to go see the cardiologist. And it turns out my heart is huge because of my size and stuff, but it wasn't anything life-threatening and stuff. I wish we would have sued that guy.
Seriously, Jesus. It's not fun to have to deal with. It's scary.
Yeah, that was almost 20 years ago, too, which is scary to think about. Oh my God. So, everything good overall over there for you?
Yeah, yeah. So far, so good. Getting ready to go to Portland next week, which literally just was a very last minute trip. It literally just got presented to us yesterday and happened. So we're gonna go surprise our goddaughter next week. We fly out Friday and we come home Sunday, so it's literally a quick trip. That's coming up. Going on family vacation at Disneyland for my birthday in November. That's exciting because I hella miss Disneyland. And that's also so freaking expensive now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm going to pay to go to Disneyland because it's fucking Disneyland. But, I'm going to be in a wedding coming up in November, too, for this bachelorette weekend that I just went on this last weekend.
Nice.
Which was very, I don't know, it's going to be interesting. It's a very small wedding. It'll be up in Sonoma somewhere. And I'm not even sure where the wedding is. All I know is it's in Sonoma. But it's just interesting, she wanted the Vegas experience, but then when we presented, she, was very adamant, she did not want strippers and things like that. And I'm like, okay, we can get past that. That's fine. I was trying to be let's go to Chippendales, because Chippendales is the actual show. There is some stripping, but they're still fully clothed. There's no penises flying around and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think because she also didn't want so much attention put on her, but it was my friend got her the veil and a sash, and yay, bride-to-be kind of a thing. But walking through the casinos, it's she didn't realize people were congratulating her, because here you're wearing a sash that says bride-to-be.
Right.
You're wearing a white dress. People, obviously, you either just got married or you're going to get married. So people are like, oh, congratulations, yay. Totally not fazed by it. So there were times where, Rachel, they're talking to you. Oh, thanks. Okay. And then there'd be the few times, which I thought was funny, more men than women would be oh gosh, who's the lucky guy? You better run while you can. Are you sure you want to do that? The one lady slapped her husband. She was we've been married for 36 years. Don't listen to him. Oh my God. She slapped him you make it sound so bad. We were cracking up. So it was interesting to see, the difference in people, I guess. Because I've done the whole Vegas bachelorette, Chippendale, crazy hangover to the max. And this was I want the Vegas experience, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
If this was the case, why didn't we just go to, Lake Tahoe? Or even Reno would have been better than Vegas, because it was not a cheap trip for us. Because we did fly, which thank God my friend got me a flight on Southwest. So I was able to check my bags for free, which was a huge help. But it's still costly. It's Vegas. Vegas is not a cheap place to go. But, it was overall a fun trip. We got to see Tyga, the rapper, for free, basically. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Which, even that, oh my gosh. Talk about aging ourselves. I love to people watch. I love, I could literally sit in the park and people watch all fucking day. So here we are in the club, and I'm sipping on my drink, minding my own business, dancing to the music, and these people are I don't even know if gyrating is the proper word to use for the humping that was going on. Literal, if they weren't wearing clothes, they would have been having sex. Straight up, I don't understand how the girls were even sitting up, standing up on their 2 feet. A lot of them were wearing flats.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still you must have very strong thigh muscles or something, because I would have been knocked on my ass if somebody came up behind me and body bumped me the way they were being body bumped. I was just totally I was looking at my friends. I was looking at Samantha oh my goodness, what is happening? I just, and that's where I was maybe it's because I don't go out often.
Mm-hmm.
When I do go out, it's more of a jukebox is playing, or I've gone to, is it St. James Gate, the one by the train station?
Yeah, Belmont, yeah.
It's by the train or something.
Right.
So they'll have a live band.
Right.
Which I absolutely love that kind of a scene, being a scene, having a good time with a live band, with someone who's singing Van Morrison and, good classics and things like that. Like, that's more my scene. Like, give me my beer and let me enjoy the music, whereas these kids these days are just like, and then I thought about it after. I'm like, this is probably like how our parents and our teachers felt when we were in high school, when we were younger. But I have never in my life danced with anybody the way these people were dancing with each other. I was just like, what is happening? What is going on? Ew. Like, why? Why is this happening? Get me out of here. Like, no, don't touch me. Which was, that's the one thing I love about going out, though, is like, oh, hey, hi. It's like, oh, hi, there's my girlfriend. Thanks. Bye. Have a good time. Have a good night. Bye. Thanks. Bye. Keep moving. Keep it moving. So funny.
Yeah, you're like...
funny to see that look on people's face of like, oh, you're with us. Like, oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am, 100%. But thank you. Thanks for thinking of me. Still got it. Thanks. I tried.
You're like, that's a no.
That's a huge no. Thank you, Panda Express fried rice. Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
I forget we have a printer. Sam is printing something and it just scared the crap out of me because we don't use it that often, and it just came on because it's wireless.
Mm-hmm.
It startled me. Sorry. Hi.
Yeah. My dad lives in Marysville, Washington. I'm going to go visit him before the year is out.
Where is he in Washington?
Marysville.
Marysville. I don't know if I've heard of Marysville. I love Washington. I love it up there.
Yeah, it's close to Seattle.
Oh, okay. I've been to Seattle once now, and it was, apparently we were very lucky because it rained only one day when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cold, but everyone always made it seem like it was only going to be raining, and like, rain, and so I was kind of like, well, fuck, this is going to suck. But it actually wasn't that bad. I had a lot of fun, and it's absolutely beautiful up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of like Northern California, like the whole like Northwestern is like, I'm learning more and more it's gorgeous. But,
yeah.
Like,
last time I visited was 3 years ago. The only thing exciting he has in that town is there's a casino with one of the best bacon cheeseburgers I've ever had in my life.
I love bacon cheeseburgers. Me
too. I try not to eat them often, though, because, I got an aorta stent in my heart, and I don't want another heart attack, but I do love them.
I was just talking to a friend of ours, actually, this last weekend, was talking about cured meats, like prosciutto, salami, bacon, things like that,
mm-hmm.
have they're worse for you than smoking cigarettes, apparently, because of all, like, the fat and everything that's in it.
I believe that.
Like, all this shit. I was like, I felt so sad when my friend compared it to cigarettes. I was like, damn it. I'm still going to eat bacon. Like, you can't take that away from me. Like, you can take the cancer sticks. I don't want that shit. But you can't take my fucking bacon and my prosciutto. I'm too Italian for that. I love my fucking prosciutto. Oh, my gosh. But I guess in moderation, right?
Yeah, in moderation. Definitely. And stuff. But, yeah, oh, my God. It was really, really good. And I'm looking forward to seeing my dad because it's been, 3 years. But...
yeah.
With that and my trip to LA in a couple weeks, I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Oh my God! So, do you think this podcast would be appropriate to share on Facebook?
Absolutely.
Because oh my God, the first.
And how do you play it? Like, how do you share it?
On YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll tell you, the first friend of mine I did a podcast with a year and a half ago, I put it on her Facebook, because the whole podcast, we were talking about sex, right? And, oh my God, fucking her boyfriend was pissed. And so I haven't, shared on Facebook any podcast with friends after that. Like, I learned my lesson and stuff. But ours I will share, though.
Yeah, I'll find you on YouTube, too, because I have a YouTube account. I just have to, log into it, be on my YouTube. But I can find you and follow you and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, all you have to do is click on this video, and then you can subscribe.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And I'll subscribe back to you.
Sweet. I never post anything, but all right.
That's okay. Friends gotta be supportive of each other.
Hell yes, absolutely. And I always try to do my best. I appreciate you being patient with me and wanting to do podcasts with me.
Oh, my pleasure. Before I go, I got a couple jokes for you.
Hit me.
Okay, everybody knows the old nursery rhyme. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids she didn't know what to do. What did her right leg say to her left leg?
I don't know. What?
Nothing. They never met. I love that joke.
I knew that was going to be something along those lines.
Yeah. How do you make your wife scream twice?
Ooh. I don't know.
First, you fuck her up the ass, and then you wipe your dick on the curtain.
Oh my god, that is disgusting.
Yeah. I've told that to a few people. It depends on who the person is that really, really likes it. If I tell it to a comedian, they think it's the funniest shit they ever heard.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, Katie, I thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. This was awesome.
Very, very welcome, my friend. Very, very welcome. And I look forward to the next.
Absolutely.
All right, babe.
I'll let you know.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon, and have yourself a great day.
You too, hon.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Katie LaRosa. Ain't she a sweetheart? I love Katie. She's so much fun. She's the coolest chick I know. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.